All right. You can see myself. You can see myself here on the feedback. Let's see if there is sound. You can see. Okay, there is sound, so we can start. So, of course, my name is Hightech, and on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market, what I think about it regarding 11 years of my experience. And also in between the lines, I explain what is high-tech meme coin. Here is the mint address of it. And this was a meme coin released on Solana network. In between the lines, I explain what is it and why you probably should be interested. Okay, let's go. Let's switch the screen. If you guys have any questions, of course, write me in the live chat. I live stream to 5 platforms at once. I will see it here. Oh, but without, actually without Kik. Allow me to quickly go to Kik. I forget again, just like yesterday. Yesterday I forgot about Kik too. Because so far, I think the most activity in the chat I have on Kik. Activity. Okay, where is it? Almost there. Bear with me. I'm very sorry. I come unprepared. Just a minute. Okay, we have it here. So yeah, now we are fully ready. My apologies. So here it is. So I'll sit here, here, or on my phone. So yeah, and it's always cool when viewers write, when viewers engage. So go ahead. I always like it. So as I said in my live streams yesterday, today was or is, depending on what is your time zone. My time zone is Friday already. So I will be referring to Thursday in the past tense. So Thursday, well, a lot of, in my opinion, I mean, from what I've been seeing recently, Thursday is quite an important day, and apparently quite a lot depends on it. And yesterday I was saying, if we get a red Thursday, then probably the rest of the week is going to make a lot of people unhappy. And if it closes in green, then the opposite will occur. The opposite will take place. But as you see, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what is your time horizon, let's say, well, Thursday is closing, is about to close red. It actually has only 40 minutes left in UTC time to close in red. Can it flip before the close? Yes, it can, because as you see, minus 34% on Bitcoin is definitely nothing. That's definitely not a class of volatility that we have not seen, before on Bitcoin chart. To have a move like this in I don't know, even less than 40 minutes, it is possible. But so far, we must consider how it looks right now. And right now it looks like the rest of the week will not be the most fun to to play with. But if we get another dip on the altcoin market, I mean, when we look at Bitcoin, yeah, that gives us increased probability that Bitcoin will at least try to attack this support at $106,000, the one that I have marked, or maybe even $100,000. So given how all of the liquidity is interconnected in the crypto space, that of course gives increased probabilities that altcoins are also about to react to it, although probably not in as aggressive manner as we could see on Friday. That would be even a little bit weird if we see a repetition of what happened back then. So yeah, highly likely this is just this secondary dip playing out I've been talking about recent days, and it isn't necessary to clear the the rest, let's say, the remaining rest of those of those that still trade leverage or just simply you know got lucky on the way down here, and now they never been doing with situation like this yet, and they're actually panicking about their good luck walking away, turning his back on them. So that's why right now when they see the market is not continuing with the rally immediately, they think it's about to roll over, and the crash will continue. So they have to sell off while they're still in profit. And it is highly unlikely we will see a continuation of a downtrend or creation of a downtrend of a prolonged downtrend. It's highly unlikely that is going to be the case, given how oversold this market went from one day to another. The level of oversold it went into in matters of hours is something that this space has never seen. So that's hugely bullish, very promising for any expectations of a bull trend from here. Of course, not coming tomorrow, not happening tomorrow, not happening the day after tomorrow, probably rolling out in matter of weeks, and highly likely not longer, because the kick was really 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 hard, historically hard. But the inertia, I think, is already there. I mean, fundamentally speaking, of course, on the chart we cannot see it yet, but it's doing its work under the hood while we speak, and while we sleep as well. The process has already started, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that, of course. Right now, I'm not. I'm not in the crypto market. I mean, like literally 99% of my positions are closed. The one that opened and actually gave me a double was on Bell, on this altcoin, which I have no idea what it is. But I never look it up because it makes no sense. All I need to see, before I decide though I want to trade this coin or not, is how volatile it is. What historical charts shows me how many opportunities this coin gave in the past to uh, earn a decent money on it. And Bell, yeah, definitely satisfied my requirements, and so that's why I keep trading it. And as you see, judging by what just happened today, my decision to go with it is correct, right? Because it just gave me a plus 100% trade, and I expect something like this to be increasingly happening more and more the longer we wait, the longer we move away from last Friday, and the more frequently we'll see spikes like this happening. Of course, with the sell-offs, because why not? Like I said, some people will be accumulating now, and they will be in a huge fear of entering a bear market instead of a bull market. So they will try to sell off whatever opportunity that they see. I mean, they see coming to them. But like for example, even here, I already see this is something big on this coin, right? If we want to use it as an example, I already see there is something more to it rather than just this spike up. It is there's major force behind why it actually just did what it did. Because as we are starting to lean upwards here, right? We had a sell-off, but we still lean upwards. So that let's say mystic force that makes it happen in my eyes, in my judgment, is literally motivated by how grossly oversold this market became Friday. So a majority of those coins, they lay in very few hands that have very long-term perspective, and they will not be selling it cheap. They will be selling it when this market grows. I mean, altcoin market grows at least multiple X from here. And then they will be interested in cashing out, right? Converting to something else. So that's why I'm highly convinced this one here will happen all over the place in different shapes and forms. Let's say the different, grade of of stretch. This one here, of course, happening fairly quickly. Some other projects will be waiting for it slightly longer, but at the end of the day, I mean, here this is early phase anyway. I think even on this coin, we'll see still hundreds of percents more throughout, let's say, coming months, right? I mean, I still see it as quite probable we will get another correction, but this time, like, let's say, less catastrophic, less black swanish, more, let's say, in traditional fashion, probably. So it will be just a large sell-off, much slower than the one that happened on Friday, and not going as deep, of course, especially for altcoins, because there was a lot of things that were necessary for the crypto market to click literally in the same time. So some of those coins go minus 90%, right? That was a very unique setup. Was it planned? Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's not going to repeat anytime soon. Maybe in the next 10 years, we'll see anything that comes close. But yeah, if I'm right, then of course we will see another correction sometime in November. Same way it happens almost every year. But later we will continue, right? So many people already claim it's all over. Hence the title. Hence the titles I give, right? It's all over. I put on those live streams. I set it for those live streams, clickbaitish. I admit it that the titles I give recently are very clickbaitish. But yeah, that's the way it works, right? I mean, what you click on YouTube or on any other, let's say video platform or live streaming platform, something that wakes up your emotions, gives you that blood rush. But I'm very, very convinced this is not over yet. I'm very, very convinced we will stay in a bull market at least until very deep 2026, if not until the end of 2026, if not until the end of 2027. Why? Because the size of capital that participates right now in this market is so much greater than what we have seen just until recently. So that would make literally zero sense for it to end right now. The money is bigger, so automatically the cycle will have to be longer. It will have to be much more extended. So yeah, so I wanted to boast about this one, of course, a little bit, because why not? The altcoin market is not really giving much opportunities now to make any money in the spot market. Um, at most, at best, at some delayed opportunities if you accumulate it, on those dips, which I think is the correct thing to do. But not all in. Never go all in. Remember, never go all in. That's strategically weak if you go all in. Always leave a little bit of dry powder on the side. That will save you. That will give you the opportunity to have at least a little bit of recovery whenever a huge dip comes, and then you will, let's say, throw a little bit of cash at it. So this way you will cover some part of those losses in permanent losses that you have to be stomaching because you were, let's say, allocating before some major move. So it's very important to remember about it. Yeah, let's take a look how Bitcoin dominance is doing, especially on the daily, in the greater time frame. So again, we are continuing with the uptrend here. So yesterday I was pointing it out that usually when you have something like this, like definitely, easily noticeable inclination towards the upside, and then you have this bump up on the way up. That's usually bullish, right, for the trend. And if this was not Bitcoin dominance chart, I'll be definitely leaning bullish if I see something like this. On any other asset, when I see something like this, I'll be leaning bullish, and I'll be, let's say, forecasting more growth and taking out local highs. But yeah, this is Bitcoin dominance chart, and Bitcoin dominance generally, is destined to literally go to zero over time. Of course, not in a day, not in a month, not in a year even. But sooner or later, it will have to give back, and that process already has started. And so that is why it just literally goes against the wind, against a strong wind of free market and economics, and that's why it's powerless against it. Time will just do its work. So that's why, given that we already have seen a great reduction for the first time in quite a while, because this uptrend have been lasting 3 years or maybe even more, around 3 years, without major corrections. And this one is the most noticeable correction we've seen in a very long time, but this is not a major correction, right? It's definitely not a major correction. So that's why, when you consider the big picture, collect all of the evidence, collect all of the probabilities, then it's very unlikely this local uptrend here that we can observe right now will be long lasting. It's very, very highly unlikely. And again, I keep repeating, sometimes even very, very improbable things will happen to you in your life, but generally it's not good. It's not a good habit, not a good practice to be betting on it, right? Like with the Russian roulette, you have no, this is not what I wanted to say. I mean, sometimes things that are bad that carry low probabilities happen to you. Like, for example, in Russian roulette, right? You have to be really silly to play Russian roulette. There you have like around 70% of probabilities that you will shoot your head off. So sometimes it happens. Low probability does not mean it will never happen. it means it happens from time to time. So you must be shielded against it. But it's just not a good practice to have have high expectations of it occurring, right? So yeah, literally that's what we are looking at right now. There is some probability we will go high here, we'll go higher here. There is some probability we will take out this local high, but it's low. It's really, really low. There's many forces that go against it. So yeah, let's take a look at S&P 500. How this one was doing today. So yeah, the daily candle is red, but it actually goes sideways more than anything else, right? But as you see, yeah, there was a sell-off today, so that of course helped Bitcoin to sell off too, because since we've got Bitcoin spot ETFs, S&P is much more. I mean, we have much stronger correlation to what happens in the TradFi space. So no wonder, right? No wonder if S&P was going down, no wonder why Bitcoin went down. Let's take a look actually at how inflows and outflows from spot ETFs were looking today. So yeah, we had a little bit of outflows from Bitcoin. Not that many, just slightly below $150 million. And inflows to Ethereum. So who knows? Maybe this is signaling upcoming alt season, right? But that's one of the possibilities. One of the possibilities too. Even though it will be very weird to me if Bitcoin just stops here and does not go any higher. If we don't get 150K this year, I'll take it as a surprise, to be honest, because I believe there is still a lot of room left for Bitcoin strategic reserve narrative, and that I think will be fueling Bitcoin bull run for quite some time to go. But at some point, I mean, definitely at some point, altcoin season will have to start. I mean, if anybody tells you that altcoin season will not happen, they have literally zero idea about how markets work. Totally, you can already stop listening to them. You can unsubscribe them because they have little awareness, right? They have little awareness of market mechanics. So they will be just giving you a very bad advice overall. That does not mean they will always be telling you wrong, because they will have a guessing chance of, I mean, from time to time, once in a while, to say something correct. But generally speaking, it means they have no idea about what capital rotation is. They have no idea about what effects have let's say heavy sell-offs as such as the one that we experienced on Friday. And that indeed there is it's real that there is an oversold state of the market, an overbought state of the market, and if that was carrying zero significance, nobody would ever mention about it, right? It has its weight. It has its weight, and on critical levels, it's giving powerful effects. Not immediate, but over time, very powerful. It's like a tsunami. At the bottom of the ocean, there's an earthquake happening. So the tsunami is forming, and before it hits the shore, sometimes it takes days, right? Depending on where you're at. I mean, how far away from you the earthquake happened, right? Sometimes it takes days for the tsunami to arrive, but once it arrives, then the power of the event. So same is the case right here. The tsunami is coming, right? The earthquake already happened. That was on Friday. And we are waiting until it arrives at the shore. So if you guys have any questions, ask me in the live chat. I'll see it here, of course, or on my mobile, where I look at what's happening in the live chat on X. Here is kick.com, of course. Share, like, and subscribe too. I mean, don't forget, because otherwise you will lose this channel if you watch it on YouTube or if you watch it on Rumble or on Kick. And if you watch it on X, of course, give me a follow so you don't lose my profile. Okay, so one good thing, of course, here is that in the recent hour, as you see, there was quite a lot of green volume, so that's good. That sets things quite positive for Friday. I don't really think today, so Friday, because where I'm at is already Friday. I don't really think we will see anything extraordinary either way on S&P. So probably it will remain more or less same as it has been for last 2 days, more or less something like this. So a very choppy price action to sideways within this range. I don't really think we are going to escalate. Let's say the selling pressure here or beat a new all-time high. Probably not. Highly likely we'll just go sideways, and that will open the doors for Bitcoin to have a little bit of maybe a little bit more of a dip, but a shallow dip, and keep cooling off. Same for altcoins, maybe a little bit of a dip, and then keep cooling off, just so we start the next week with a punch. Finally, because I mean it's been time. If not this liquidation event, we would probably already be in something looking like a quite a nice rally, but since it happened, so now it got delayed in time. That's the bad news. The good news is going to be far more powerful, like probably multiple times more powerful than what was, let's say, in the cooker before. So I think the end of October with November will be very interesting, very interesting. There's many big crypto influencers calling for lower prices now, calling for no altcoin season, calling for the start of bear market. Technically speaking, it makes no sense for those things to occur, to take place right now. Makes zero sense. It makes zero sense from profitability standpoint when we think about TradFi, about the big guys. It makes zero sense from market mechanics standpoint. It makes zero sense even from overbought, oversold, market states standpoint. So probabilities are backing us up, are favoring us in a big way, one of the biggest way, it could. So and the sentiment, right? The sentiment of the market is really low. It's really bad. I mean, look at fear and greed index is at 32. That's very low fear level. Altcoin season index is at 27. So again, the clear, at least in theory, should be completely clear. The visibility should be very clear, and that's all of that is perfect. All of that are perfect conditions for a good flight. So that is why just pack your backpack and get ready, right? Get ready for a trip because it's coming. You still have to get to the airport, but it's coming. time-wise. So let's take a look at liquidation levels. I mean, last time, which was literally a few hours ago, or a couple of hours ago, no, a few hours ago, when I was live streaming on my Polish YouTube channel, I was examining how liquidity looks, liquidity heat map, of course, on the derivatives exchanges, and it keeps giving me that organic vibe. Right? What I see here points to all of this liquidity, let's say, of organic nature, to be of organic nature, meaning that it's about to be swept by market makers, meaning that the price will have to go up. Sometimes probably next week, because like I said, Thursday today we're closing red, so that's historically speaking. I mean, considering recent history, right, recent months, that means the rest of the week will be slightly red slash boring or troubling, let's say. But right now, the only incentive for market makers is on the way up. As you see, there is no liquidity beneath. You know what? Let's take a look at greater scope. Let's see how does it look in even greater scope. Right? Again, nothing, no changes, zero changes. There's practically zero liquidity beneath. All of the liquidity is above. So again, that's a confirmation. That's a confirmation, and the way this liquidity behaves as well. It's harder for uh, cleaner plate here, to be honest. I mean, it's quite apparent. Let's take a look at this one, at the numbers, sheer numbers of how many people got liquidated again today. So yeah, 235 million on Bitcoin and 170 on Ethereum. So there is still a little bit of retail, apparently, remaining in on derivative exchanges, which is astounding. You know, like how much money people can lose and still not get burned with the casino. But I guess it's because there's a large group of people that just have stable income, have jobs, and they finance their gambling and addiction this way, and that's why. So that is why at first when I saw what happened on Friday, I said, yeah, highly likely the volumes on derivatives exchanges will go down until next month, because then people will receive their paychecks and will just keep doing what they've been doing, losing money trading futures. So yeah, so now we had a little bit of a way down. So we'll see. Maybe it will happen after all that. That drop in volume on futures trading that I was speculating about, that it could happen if people got burned enough, if people got robbed enough, then at least in theory that's the effect that we should see. But it also could be, this volume could be coming from market makers, like from them literally making empty numbers. That's also possible. So that's why it's so difficult to get a good orientation, right? Because this market is full of different manipulations of numbers, of metrics. It's easy to read it wrong, and that's why chart is the king, right? Chart is the king. Chart shows you everything. Of course, you can try to back your trading up with whatever external data, but at the end of the day, it all could be manipulated. All could be tricking you into thinking that something else is happening rather than what is really happening. So yeah, share, like, and subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so. And of course, don't forget to allocate something into the reason why I even talk to you here, which is this meme coin. It's called high tech, and the whole sense of it, the whole reason for it to actually exist is to be a payment, no, sorry, investment gateway for my social media, right? For my YouTube channel. So it's kind of investment gateway. So you can invest in my social media, in my YouTube channel, in my popularity, let's say future popularity. Because I'm a very persistent individual, and I always, once I start something, I take it till the very end. And here my goal is to, become recognizable, very recognizable in the global crypto space. So that means this one here is just the beginning. We've got only 63 holders so far, as you see. Each of those projects here listed in trending bar count well above 1,000 holders. So if we got from $1 to $135 as of now with 63 holders, then imagine what will happen if we get 1,000, right, or 5,000, and that's just a matter of time. So get here before them. I mean, before those numbers arrive, right? The win-lose ratio here is absolutely mad. It's madness. So how long have I been talking to you guys? 37 minutes. Okay, not that bad. Not that bad. Okay, let's take a look at what has been going on X today. And by the way, I keep tracking how many people are watching the tutorial I committed about how to acquire high tech meme coin. And as you see, every let's say hour, somebody will look into it, right? So it on my X profile, it's been like 49 views so far. On my Polish YouTube channel, it was like above 50, I think, or maybe even 60 or 70, at least 50. And on my English YouTube channel, it has been like 10, but my English YouTube channel is, let's say, hidden from the world. YouTube, for whatever reason, decided that it does not deserve to be known. So yeah, there I have got just like 10 views, but yeah, collectively it's well over 100 views. So watch time is quite good, meaning that people really look into it, right? So I'm wondering, I'm very curious of at what point I will see, I will see it giving me volume on the market, on that meme coin market. But yeah, but it's in the cooker, right? It's in the cooker. So like I said, get yourself a piece before before crowds come, because then it will be too late. All right, so let's take a look at my timeline. So yeah, as you see, the movement continues. So they keep bashing CZ for what happened in the crypto space on Friday. That CZ is not a Binance CEO for quite a while already. Let's actually ask. Let's ask Grok when last time CZ was working as CEO, or when exactly he was taken off. Now he's researching. You know what? No, I will not wait for this one. I will just use this one. Until when CZ was working as a CEO of Binance. Okay, so we are approaching 2 years. We are approaching 2 years. Like, I mean, 2 years since CZ is not CEO of Binance anymore. So that's why, whenever I see something like this, like whatever profile bashing Binance with the peak of CZ, those guys are either paid by competitors, so other centralized exchanges, or they are that stupid. One of the two. There is literally no way, no other way around it. One of the two. They are very stupid, very very stupid. So don't follow them. Like, okay, how many followers this guy has? 72.6K. Probably most of it is bots. They are either very stupid, or they are paid. Breaking: California passes law to allow state government to custody Bitcoin and crypto. The fourth largest economy in the world can now hold Bitcoin. All right. So California economy is that big? That's cool. Cointelegraph, just seeing Bitmain's Tom Lee says Ethereum remains Wall Street's blockchain, but warns the digital asset treasury sector may already be in a bubble. I mean, is this already a bubble? I mean, when we look at altcoins, the altcoin market, that's definitely not a bubble. That's a bear market. And too bad I cannot show it to you because other chart is actually heavily distorted. By the way, we actually haven't looked at other chart. So here, apparently, we are having a very classical W pattern. Probably it will look somewhat like this. It still can go a little bit lower, and then we get the rally. That I am very certain. That is how it will look. That I'm very certain. The only thing I do not, of course, know how it will play out because nobody knows is how low we will go before we get the rally. And I think we have 3 days for it. Oh, okay. So Friday already opened because it's 3 a.m. where I'm at. So that means so that means here in UTC is midnight. So we'll see. We'll see what shape this one is going to take. If you guys have any questions, of course, ask them in the live chat. It's always cool when when viewers interact, with the host. So don't hesitate to do so. I see there is some people watching on X. Here it's not really reporting great numbers, like one person on Rumble and one person on Twitch. On Kick, I don't have any data here. It doesn't give me any data. But on X, I see on the phone that there are people watching live. So yeah. Okay, let's continue with this one here. Charles Schwab confirmed spot Bitcoin trading launch in 2026. And they manage 10 or, I mean, the different sources give different numbers, 10 or 11 trillion dollars. So that's quite something. Ricardo Salinas says Bitcoin will 14x to $1.5 million to catch up with gold. Yeah, gold is having a very, very heavy rally. This is tokenized gold if you haven't known. And okay, now we are having a little bit of a sell, but these are 15-minute candles, so it's not really a big deal. Completely forget about this week because this week here is just because of low liquidity on this trading pair on Binance. It's not that gold really went that high. Probably not. Highly likely not. Let's see. Let's see a normal exchange. Yeah, as you just have seen it. This one is because of low liquidity on this trading pair, or maybe not low, but liquidity not great enough to apparently handle currently the demand on this token. So that's why it spiked up. But yeah, this daily candle is opening in red. Who knows? Maybe we will get a little bit of a correction here. This rally has been quite aggressive. I have a trade on it, which is right now. No, this is not this one. It's this one. It's plus 31% in profit. No, on gold that's crazy. On gold that's stupid profit. I mean, stupidly big. So it was here, I think, right? Where was it? Yeah, here. Here was the entry. And since then we went plus 30, over 30%, right? So I have a very small position here. I mean, not anyhow different from other positions I have. But yeah, nonetheless, profit is a profit. Not going to complain. Do I regret that I didn't allocate more here? No, absolutely not, because nobody could have known it, and that's first. And second, altcoins. The altcoin market is a sleeping volcano. So at any time of the day and night, I would not change what I've been doing so far. So trading on, with majority of my capital trading on the outcome market. Even if I have a time machine and I go back in time, I still do the same. Why? Because since I go in time, I already changed the future from that timeline. Because of this, even the tiniest things I do, I already changed the future. So I'll still will not change my strategy, right? I would still stick to altcoins because they favorite me the most. They give me the biggest win-lose ratio that there is, and that will manifest at some point. It will manifest. It asks for a lot of patience for now, but when it comes to trading, it's always this year. Sorry, this way this year. Yeah, and this year too. I think it's always this way. Once the market asks you to wait a long time, when the time comes, the reward is great. It's even beyond what you expected. So so that's why I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I know I know this game. I've been in this for 11 years. I know sometimes you just have to wait a little bit longer. I've seen it. So yeah, let's move on here. Perspective. TZ posts a reminder on X that BTC went from 0.004 to 110,000 USD in 16 years. Yeah, that's true. That's a crazy growth. That's a crazy growth. And if you want to catch somewhat comparable opportunity to what Bitcoin has done, I think I'm giving it to you. I believe I'm giving it to you with this one here. Link in the description section of this live stream if you want to watch the tutorial on how to acquire this meme coin. It's actually very simple. And don't overinvest. Get yourself like literally a couple of bucks so you can forget about it for a year or two or maybe even 3, and then get hugely surprised in a positive way. I think that's the way to go. Just let me work on it. let me advertise it, let me promote it, and I think it will work very well for anyone involved. The world's first Sol ETF launching in Hong Kong. Oh, okay. I don't know why they put. Oh, okay, now I remember. I remember that Hong Kong actually went back to China. That's why they put shipping on the in the post on the picture. Because Hong Kong used to belong to the Brits. They had like a 99 years of lease or something like that on Hong Kong, but it expired and they had to give it back to China. If you didn't know, Cointelegraph. Andreessen Horowitz, crypto arm, invested 50 million in Solana staking protocol Jito, marking the largest single investment ever made into the project. Okay. Yeah, remember Solana. It is not in the interest of Solana to be expensive because that's Solana and all of smart contracting or smart contract platforms are infrastructures. So it does not lay in their interest to be expensive because otherwise nobody will want to be using them. When it comes to Ethereum or Solana or Binance Chain, the way you should treat them is the approach you should treat them with is the same as with Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, or whatever other service provider. If they are too expensive, then probably they are not going to gather revenue, meaning that you should not be investing in their stock because they are overpriced, right? If the price is too high, people are not interested anymore. Especially if the use case is not big. And in the case of Ethereum, with those prices, that network costs, I don't think we can make any argument, in defense of Ethereum that it gives a strong use case, to be honest. In its current shape, it's only the name and the hype and lack of due diligence. Only those forces are driving the price of Ethereum for now, which I was predicting starting in April. In April, in the middle of April or mid-April, I said, "Don't worry that Ethereum costs $1,500. It will still go to all-time high." Why? Because people don't check. And what happened? It went to all-time high. And now I'm saying it will still go higher. Once it rolls over, it will be a very lengthy and painful process for those that do not sell it, in time. But it still has a way to go, higher. Peter Schiff stays true to form, chiming in on every Bitcoin dip. Sell your Bitcoin or enjoy bankruptcy, okay? Bitcoin for sure will still remain with those, 70-80% corrections. That definitely has not gone away and will not go away. So Peter Schiff will have his time yet. And his 5 minutes is still, ahead of him. But even counting those corrections, Bitcoin performed way better than gold. Since let's say this rally started, this competition started. Kraken dives into the derivatives trading. Kraken acquires small exchange for $100 million to launch a derivatives trading platform in the US. Okay. So more gambling, more gambling. That's what derivatives trading on derivatives exchanges is. Just pure gambling. Don't do that. You'll lose your money. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says, in 10 years, many more people will use crypto, but they may not know they're using crypto. Yeah, that's true. That's mainly because of stablecoins. Stablecoins will become the rails for global finance. All right, guys. Okay, maybe the last one. Vanek files S1 for a Lido staked Ethereum ETF. Okay. that will be and another biggie. This one is actually the biggest news of today, which is not this one. Jack Dorsey said, I mean, is encouraging Signal, so the messaging app authors or the development team to include Bitcoin wallet in it. And here Jack Dorsey says, move your Bitcoin off the exchanges. That is not going to happen. And should you move the funds off Binance? No, I don't really think so. I think Binance is literally the safest exchange out there, especially because they already sorted their ways with DOJ. They already paid their fair share to DOJ, and they're actually the only exchange in the world that has done that. So any other exchange, once it goes under let's say under the scrutiny of DOJ, quote unquote scrutiny, they probably will fall victim to whatever motives are behind the curtains, so to speak. So yeah, when you look at it from that way, then Binance is definitely a much better place to be rather than any other exchange, to be honest. So yeah, allow me to wrap it up right here. I don't want this to become too lengthy, too boring. And of course, like I said, throw something at high tech. The tutorial to how to do it, you will find in the description section of this live stream. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, right, or follow. So thank you for your time, and I see you sometime soon. Cheers.